Hello there and welcome to the Gover Gym podcast. I'm Matt Charlton here just with the singular voice of the boss, the big man, David Gover.
I like being introduced like that.
Every day. Just get someone to do that as soon as you walk into the gym. The boss, the big man. David Gover! Like that, I think. That's the way of doing it. David, how are you?
Yes, I'm not too bad, actually.
It's very strange in here today, isn't it? Very still, just two people chatting. It's no sort
It's zen, it's nice.
We've cut out the fact we're just slowly getting rid of people, I think. And eventually it's just going to be me talking about a subject I don't know anything about. It's going to be...
That is something I'll definitely tune in for.
Please tune in, guys. Yes. So today we're talking about the rowing championships that have just passed and just training towards something in general. We're talking about a bit later. David, what's your news story today?
News story today, I've got two for you, Matthew.
Two? That's good because I haven't got one, so that sort of makes it up for it.
First one is about our colleague who isn't here, Mr. Hayden Rolfe, who you'll be pleased to hear is safe and sound in New Zealand.
Thank God.
Lord knows what he's doing. I hope he's having a good time. But Hayden, true to form, got his departure date wrong. You would double check it, wouldn't you?
Especially if you're going to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're like King's Cross going to Paris, maybe you might not double check, but the other side of the world, 23 hour flight.
For that £1,000 ticket.
Yeah, maybe.
You're going to make... But Hayden essentially said goodbye about... His leaving do lasted about a fortnight, and he kept saying goodbye.
Big goodbye.
Really dragged it out. And then on the morning where we were sure he was gone, just popped back into the gym for one last session. I was like, oh, buddy, you really shouldn't be here. He's like, oh, no, I got it wrong, didn't I?
So it was. He thought it was Tuesday early morning. It was actually Wednesday early morning.
Yeah, so he did it the right way. At least it wasn't the day before.
That is good.
But I mean, that is just an example of how laid back that guy is. But he lets life wash over him, and it's quite a nice way to be.
It's almost admirable.
I would like to be 10% more like that.
I'd like to be about 50% more like that.
We can learn from this man.
We can learn from Hayden
Not
Rolfe.
by missing flights, though.
No, we can't. No. Second news story then.
Second news story. I don't know if it's newsworthy, to be honest.
Well, don't start it like that.
Well,
don't undersell it.
You can be the judge of it. It's just it's wound me up so much that I have to talk about it as some sort of therapy, some sort of release.
Get it out, yeah.
Right. I don't know how many people listening have the misfortune of working with their partners. Actually, I'll start it off by saying my fiancée Claire is the one for me. I love her to pieces. Oh, but no one on God's green earth can make me as angry as that woman.
I did sense a butt coming after that sentence. What's happened, David?
Oh, God. Oh, Gordon Bennett. So this conversation starts like this. 15 minutes ago, David, can you just come over here and have a look at this? Yeah, absolutely. But just to manage your expectations, Claire, I have to leave in 5 minutes. And she's like, well, it's quite important. Okay, well, I've given you my time frame, so I'll be as helpful as I can in the 5 minutes given.
Starts your stopwatch.
And so she hasn't booked this appointment in. Like this, I had a meeting that finished early, so this time is bonus time. I was sort of thinking, well, maybe I'll have a coffee, or maybe not be late for Matt for once.
Maybe, who knows? One day.
It still hasn't happened. So in this unscheduled time, Claire had an agenda, and she wanted to get through this, and she started talking at me. And when I said, look, okay, this is definitely something we need to talk about. Let's book it in as an appointment, and we'll do it later. Well, we'll never have time. Let's do it right now. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be really late, and I spent the next 7.5 minutes just constantly saying, okay, no, that is a good point, but I really need to go now. And in the end, I was like, right, I'm going. And then, but this is the kicker. She is livid with me now. Unbelievable, Matthew.
That's amazing. When's the wedding?
14th July.
Fantastic.
Save the date.
Everyone's invited, obviously. I can't imagine Claire raising her voice.
Oh, she doesn't raise her voice. She just gets quietly upset with me.
Oh, that's worse in a way,
I know,
isn't it?
I know.
It's sort of stealth anger.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's off my chest. I feel better about it now. We can carry on with the...
It's a cathartic show. I like to think this is a safe place where you can just get your feelings out. Not me, I hold them all in. It's fine. Let's talk about the British Indoor Rowing Championships.
Oh my gosh, no, this is something that does get me jacked up. So, British Rowing Indoor Championships, check it out online if you haven't already. Essentially, it is the national event for 500 metre and 2,000 metre rowing.
Taking place at...
Oh, the Lee Valley Velodrome. So very, very cool. So
Formerly known as the Olympic Velodrome.
Yes.
In London 2012, where...
That's right. Where all the action happened.
Where Russia were having some fun, apparently.
Little rascals.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a really, really cool event. You in the middle of the velodrome, you've got 200 plus Concept 2 rowers, and they do it in different weights and age categories. But essentially, you can have up to 200 people, and that 3, 2, 1, go, and they're all racing. Amazing atmosphere.
And you brought how many people?
Well, I'm very proud of this, Matthew. I believe we brought 43 people. 43 Gover Gym members competed, and every single one of them absolutely outdid themselves.
Fantastic.
And the energy was incredible. And there's a lot of people. I did a lot of arm twisting to get that many people to go, as you can imagine.
I don't need to imagine it. You tried it on me as well, yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're slippery. I can't
stubborn.
Chinese burn this man.
I'm stubborn. That's what I am.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, we will. We'll build up to that. Yeah. Stay tuned.
All the guys did really well, and there's an event called the relay. It's exactly that. You've got 4,000 meters and a Concept 2 machine. There's 4 of you. You can make as many or as few changes as you want, and you've got to get it done as quickly as possible. Now, I'm proud to say, Matthew, that Gover Gym Men's 1 team, which I was a member of, just by the skin of my teeth, came out hot.
Yes.
We're pipping GB's first and second team for the first 1,000 metres.
Yeah.
At which point, I can only describe it as some kind of heart attack and lung failure simultaneously. Oh my God, I've never... This is our plan. We knew ahead of time that we could maintain a 1:23 split, and we could do 200 metres, fast changeovers, and keep that going. And that was our plan going in. 5 minutes before we started, we're like, should we just go as hard as we can?
Oh.
I said this to Tom Hodgins, who's been on the podcast, the sports psychologist, and he just put his chin on his chest and said, that makes you want to cry.
Never divert from the plan.
I know, we just got so excited. I don't know if this means anything to anyone, but Alex Palmer, one of our coaches, he's not that tall, he's like 5'10", hench, sort of bodybuilder physique, a little bit doughy, very, very powerful. So he started us off grunting and groaning at a 1:10 split.
Whoa.
That's flabbergasted. I can't even row that fast for 2 strokes. But he did 200 metres like that and then was useless.
I can imagine. I wouldn't be able to use any of my limbs or my head after that. Just nothing on my body would work. Nothing at all. That's 1:10.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How close did someone else get to that?
Well, on our team,
Yeah.
I think we were rowing like 1:15s, 1:16s for the first. We all went way too fast.
Yeah.
And by the end, we were changing way before our 200s. I was like, I'm gassed, get me off. And it was more like 1:27, so way down on our split. And it was the worst thing about doing that, and I've done it once in a marathon as well, half marathon, is if you come out super hot, all that happens after that is everyone overtakes you.
It's the tortoise in the hair again, all over again. Did you not learn at school?
So that was cool. We had a really good time doing it, and gonna definitely go back next year.
There was one medal, wasn't there? Is that right?
No. There was a couple of sets of medals. So our ladies relay team, our mixed relay team got a bronze medal. Really proud of them.
Brilliant.
They were awesome. And a lot of them. That was for a couple of them. It's their first time competing as adults. You know, do you like sports days as kids?
No, I avoided them.
Oh,
Every
God.
single sports day.
How do you even get out of that?
Oh, I was quite clever.
Doctor's note.
As you can imagine, I was quite clever at coming up with stories and just leaving school. just walking off the grounds. Oh, where were you? I had to go, sir. I'm sorry. Stuff happens. You know, I'm a busy man.
So when I get you competing next year, it'll be your first time ever competing.
Sorry, the mic went for a minute there. I didn't hear any of that, David. Sorry, carry on. Yeah, what?
I actually thought the mic did go.
No, I was
concerned
being
looking at
sarcastic.
Right.
Medals.
Yes, so they got a medal. They did really, really well, and they're completely elated with that. And my hero, Linda Colonese, in the ladies over 76 category, came home with a bronze as well.
Wow.
And it was really nice of her. She'd been working so hard, and she got a bit teary before she went on to rows. Like, what am I doing? I hate this. Why I put myself under so much pressure? And then absolutely bossed it with a personal best. So yeah, really, really happy.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so I'm guessing you weren't on the party bus on the way back, were you?
No, obviously, Matthew, I double booked myself.
Of course.
So yeah, I was staying up in London that night. But yeah, if you get a group of people who are elated because they've trained quite hard and they are forced to stay in a confined area with each other for a couple of hours, and then you chuck a load of alcohol into the mix, you're going to have a good time.
It's basically a concentrated version of the Olympic Village, isn't it? Because you hear stories of what goes on there as well. Yeah. It's just absolutely mental. So that, I suppose that brings us on to our next subject. I mean, that sounds amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good.
All power to the Gover, team.
Thank you everyone that did train really hard and turn up, and everyone was really in the spirit of it as well. Everyone was cheering each other on. It was great. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know anything about it.
I wouldn't. I don't know anything about beautiful things, generally. So the importance of having a goal, that brings us on to, I suppose. So all of those people had a goal, didn't they?
Well, yeah. No, more than that. I mean, you have goals, you have different goals, but I think the importance of competing more. Because I know you don't want to, but you... But there is something, you have to manage a lot of things when you're competing. So firstly is the pressure of it. You're putting yourself in a high stress situation.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to perform, or it's suddenly quite important for you to perform, especially if you're part of a team.
Yeah.
And how you might cope with that badly the first time, but you've experienced it, and that's something important in itself. And the more frequently you do it, the better you get at it. And when you will have these situations in life as well, interviews, whenever. And if you've done it before, even if it's in a sporting environment, that will set you up better for it. Well, that's how I truly feel.
Okay.
Tell me why you don't feel like that.
Well, I'm not a team player. I would say that's not the first thing you say when you walk into a job interview is, "Hi, I'm not a team player." But my job dictates that I work on my own most of the time. Half the time I work on my own, half the time I work as part of a team, but I cannot wait when I'm part of a team to get back on my own. And so there's that element, and then there's the stress element, which is probably not a good idea for me. And then there's also the fact I'm not competitive in sport.
I don't
at
know
all, and never have been. Never ever have been. And I know that's a mindset that you just
can't
get your head around.
I just don't believe people when they say that.
Right.
Because when people tell me they're not competitive all the time, and then when they've done I make them row 500 meters, or 2,000 meters, whatever, as part of a generic fit test that we'll do for them, and then they'll say to me, "Oh, and how does that compare to anyone else?" Well, why do you care if you're not competitive? You are competitive. Everyone's competitive.
The only time that I care about comparisons is when I'm trying to beat my PB. Yes. I don't care about how it compares to anyone else, because I know my goals and I know my own mind, and that's what I care about.
Would you not get a great sense of satisfaction if you decided that you were gonna you would set for yourself, right, I'm going to finish my workouts there 500 meters and I'm going to go balls out, absolutely gas it and see how quickly you can do it, and you know what your personal best is, but at that time, at that very moment, a young Hayden Rolfe sits next to you. He's got his headphones in, he doesn't know what you're doing. He starts keying in 500 meters. Now, you're not going to change your workout just because Hayden's running 500 meters as well. Imagine in 1 minute 23 seconds later you're done and you look to your left and Hayden's still got 10 meters on the screen. Would that not make you feel good?
No.
Shut up! That would make your life, and you know it.
No, I mean, the only thing that would make me feel good is if you notice and you bound and then go, "Oh my god, man!" But no, honestly, it would last. Even if it did, it would last for about. That's my impression of you. Oh my god, man! That's what you sound like. That would last for about 5 seconds, and then okay, cool. What's changed? What has changed in my life now? Nothing.
Oh God,
I know. I told you that I can. We can butt our heads about this all day, and I don't think we're going to agree about this, David.
Okay, well, let me think of something else to come up why it's a good idea to compete.
Okay, do you need a minute?
Sorry?
Do you need a minute?
Well, I mean, I am doing this off the cuff, but I'm sure I can think of one.
Well, the importance of competition is the next thing I've got down.
Well, there's no two ways about it. If I say to you, you're going to be competing in in front of however many people, and you're going to be representing the gym, and you're part of the team, and we're all going to be rooting for you.
At that point, there'd be a mat-shaped hole in the wall, like in a cartoon. Like, I would just running away, like that running away sound effect in The Simpsons when someone just slides out the door. Yeah, exactly. That was what it would be like if you were telling me that.
Well, if we got past that,
yeah,
you would, before you got there, your training would have, or you would be in a better position to do that than you ever possibly would if you just thought, I'm going to try and do this as well as I can, and left it open-ended with no competition. There's you see it all the time. People, when they do bodybuilding shows, they might not get into the shape that they really, really wanted to, or they envisaged was possible, but they will get into a better shape than they ever would if they didn't put themselves into the competition. So I hate it when people say, yeah, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna just bulk for a few seasons and then I'm gonna compete. It's like, if that's what you want to do, just compete straight away.
Just dive in.
Yeah, dive in the deep end. Don't be scared of it. Just learn from the competition. You'll definitely get better results than you would have done without it. And it's a hell of an experience. And as you always refer to it, it's such a great journey.
Oh, I love a journey, me. I love a journey. It's all about the journey.
Other reasons for competing. Let's talk about competing in a team. Okay, so it's...
Oh, God, that sounds horrible.
Okay, so these are the key skills that you need to be proficient at communicating in a team. You need to be able to communicate effectively. Yeah, that's it. So he's put a big cross on a piece of paper. Yeah. You need to recognise when someone needs a morale boost and when they just need to be left alone. That's a massive skill to have.
I can do that. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
See, that's huge. You see, you'll be a good team player.
So I've got one so far. Right. Let's see how much further I can get. Right.
In a team, you need to just put hours in with each other. So you need to coordinate. You need to logistically be on the same page and stuff like that. I am making a horrible hash of doing this because I should have done some more show notes. But being
because I'm sitting in front of you, shaking my head, and putting crosses on paper. But that, just trying to.
Yeah, man. The worst case scenario, you being in a team, Matthew, is you might make some more friends.
Oh God, no. Don't. I'll use the F word. Use the F word.
What is what really bonds people is shared experiences. Am I wrong?
Yep.
No, I'm not wrong.
I'm going to be totally contrary for the next hour, by the way.
Okay, so going through a bit of adversity with someone else who's in the same boat as you, fantastic. That's how you really get to know someone. And
like a hostage situation.
Christ above.
A bit, so like the British Rowing Championships.
Well, it's slightly different, yeah. But whatever goes through,
I'm drawing parallels. That's all I'm doing.
But Matthew, what could we do to get you to compete in something? I mean, we could start really lo-fi. We could do in-house competition.
What would you? Let's go a bit more abstract and to say there is an individual that doesn't participate. That comes to the gym, does their workout, doesn't participate. As a trainer, what would your first step be to try and bring them in?
So it's difficult, isn't it? Because you need to understand why they don't want to. And for 9 times out of 10, I know this probably isn't the case for you, but it's not they don't want to participate. It's that they either maybe they feel a bit self-conscious about it, or they don't feel that they're good enough, or they see loads of people say, afterwards, like, congratulations! It seemed fantastic what you guys did at the weekend at the British Indoor Rowing Championships. Oh, thanks very much. Will we get you in to do it next year? No, that's not really for me. But what they're not just saying that, they don't think it's something that they should be doing because they don't think they're able to do it. But they absolutely are, and it is for you. Like, a friend of mine is going into the 80 pluses next year. It's amazing. It's just a mindset shift. Thoughts become things,
so
Matthew. Thoughts become things.
That's the first step, is changing the mindset of the person.
Yeah, I think so. I think just letting them know that what they currently think of themselves doesn't have to be how it stays.
So, this person that you change their mindset.
Yeah.
What would the next step be with this abstract person?
It would be to draw that. What have I cajoled them into agreeing to it yet?
I don't know. I mean, would it be building their confidence up next? I'm guessing. because as you just said, most people, the case is that they might not feel that they're worthy of it, or they might not feel they're up to it. So the next stage would be.
So it's hard for me to do it because everyone is it's such a crap answer, but everyone is. It really depends on the individual.
They're snowflakes, aren't they? They're snowflakes.
Yeah, they're bloody snowflakes.
Yeah.
But in like the rowing situation, what I'd do is I would plop them on a row and just say, look, it doesn't matter what time you get. I don't care what time you get. Can you just row 500 metres, which one event, or can you just row 2,000 metres and just take as long as you want? And they say, right, this is the time you got today. And if I was shouting at you, you would have gone a bit faster. So we know that you can do it. And we've got this time frame to the competition. We could easily take this amount of time off. If you got this amount of time off it, would you be comfortable to compete? Like that. But they might then say, oh no, I'm so scared of finishing last, or, everyone will laugh at me. And then that'd be a separate conversation. Right. What, let's get to the bottom of this. Why do you feel like that? Is that rational? There's clearly some deeper things going on. But, and I'm not a psychologist, but what I do relish and really enjoy is, empowering people a little bit, or just making people aware that they can, it is an option to them.
Yeah, I mean that's why you do your job, really. Supposedly, is to make people feel better about themselves and empower them and see results. Yeah,
exactly. So yes,
so getting them on that rowing machine and trying to get the time, sort of saying,
just letting them know that they can do it, because. This happens really frequently. People will be doing something, telling me they can't do it. They'll be on the rowing machine with 300 meters to go, and they're a bit tired, and they'll be like, "I can't do this." Well, it's really interesting you say that, because you're literally doing it as you're telling me that you can't. So, which is fascinating. So yeah, getting them past that.
Oh, okay. So is there a next stage? Do you have? Is there a? I mean, I know I'm trying to sort of tie you into a set plan here.
Yeah, sure. So once they go, and if they feel confident with it, I would get a team around them. So I'd say, like, these are your port of calls. This is a training program. If you're, we'll show you how to go through that. That's a big part of it, obviously. But say, look, if you feel that you can't do it, or you're unsure about anything, I'm your first port of call. Okay, and I'm available. Here's my contact details. I'll always have time for you. If they're in a team environment, I would literally introduce them maybe one at a time and say, look, here's this person. They're really nice, and they're quite similar to you, and they're also feeling a bit anxious about doing it. And sometimes it is what works really well. And I don't know the psychology behind it, but actually having someone who is unsure of their ability, pairing them with someone who they are fitter than or stronger than, or they will be, and then what you see is their leadership skills coming out. And that, because they're suddenly like, hold on, well, I know that they're like, I know I'm not that good at it, but can't be that crap because someone else is worse than me. But they can relate massively to this other person. So you see them saying, no, you can do it, come on, let's go. And that's amazing. That's fantastic.
And you see a change then, do you?
Yeah, because their perceived role has shifted. They've gone from, they've seen themselves as the person that can't do it or is unable to do it, to the person who is now the leader.
And it's a sense of responsibility that comes with
absolutely.
That as well.
And they have such natural, huge amounts of empathy because they know exactly how that person feels. So they know exactly how to speak to them and be effective with their motivation. Whereas someone like Hayden, who's always been fit, always, he maybe can't do that as well. Or not even maybe, he can't relate to them as much, like, because he enjoys it when it gets tough. He doesn't know how these normal humans work.
Mortals. It is David has taken the time to come up with, is it 9 reasons?
Yeah, so I didn't feel that I was very eloquent. I was just sort of saying, yeah, you should compete, it's great fun. Okay, so Matthew Charlton, this is why you should compete. Okay, you will achieve more in the set time frame before the competition that you would without the competition at the end of it. That is based on my personal experience from everyone that I've ever made compete. You learn how to manage pressure. You learn how to...
I can manage pressure!
Jesus. Cope with the adrenaline dump. And this has a lot of transfer to life situations, meetings, like any altercations, anything. Like you can't live your life without a degree of stress and at times pressure as well. So it does help with that. It is electric.
So is my guitar. What of it?
So no, competing is a thrill. It is really fun. It is, and the more anxious you feel before, the more elated you feel afterwards.
Okay.
It improves your communication skills.
Me communicate well good. All right. No problem with me communication. No.
Now, I think you'll even find this one hard to dispute.
Right.
Being social is crucial for quality of life.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, I hate being social. What's the point of being social when you can sit on your own and think your thoughts?
Because even the thoughts you think, if you put on someone, then you'll get some feedback, and then you have discourse, which is vital and you love.
What if it's feedback though, like when you put a mic too close to a speaker and it bursts your eardrums?
Yeah. Well, the good thing about being social is that you largely can choose who you spend time with. We choose to sit down and because we're fairly like-minded and have a chat once a week for an hour.
As evidenced by this show, we're very like-minded.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But that's what makes that gives it the spice.
It gives it the discourse, doesn't it? The discourse. It's like question time, but with good people. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean that's true. But I mean that you said you've got the choice of the people that you spend time with. There's the prospect of being trapped on a bus for 2 hours after, with drunk people and feeling uncomfortable. I mean, that's another thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things are completely manageable. You could drive yourself up and back. I think. Okay, so he's agreed with me on that last point.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Okay, deliberately putting yourself in a vulnerable situation.
Oh no!
Is real strength, isn't it? Where what's that cliche? Where what is it?
You've got to search for the hero inside yourself.
No, such a dick. So when you're at the end of your comfort zone, is the only time that you actually start really progressing, like changing.
So when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Essentially,
that's right.
Yeah,
you can speak to me in cliches all you want. This is undeniable. I think, come win or lose in this situation, it forces an action. So, if say to the people that competed and they didn't do as well as they wanted to, they might have found out that they didn't deal with the pressure well. So what do? They want to do it again and they want to do it better. They want to train harder. They want to be better prepared. That's awesome. If they won, they want to get that massive high that they got. They want to get that again.
And have we done 9 yet?
I don't.
Have I won? I don't know.
You put me out of order here. Okay, so this is a slightly tenuous one, but I always think that when I'm watching sports, and you see them and they're struggling and they're mentally having a hard time, like I can relate to that a little bit. And I think by competing and feeling the stress and not performing well, sometimes you're like, you can know what they're going through a little bit. So it improves your enjoyment or amount of empathy you can have when you're watching sport.
From a man that, I mean, I speaking for myself, I have empathy for literally nothing, but it is that sort of triumph over adversity thing that is quite a British thing as well, isn't it? The sort of overcoming the
over.
odds.
That is what makes a story good.
It's very true, but I think it's a particularly British notion. I mean, we're still waiting after 51 years for the England football team to overcome that adversity.
A bunch of pricks.
But when that happens, my God,
yeah,
national holiday for the rest of time, and that's pretty much it, isn't it? It is following the story. I mean, if I watch sport, that would be I'm the perfect host for this podcast. If I watch sports, that would be the thing.
Do you not watch any sport?
I do actually. I watch tennis, and I watch international football, and I watch rugby. So yes, I do, and the Olympics. I love the Olympics. That was amazing.
Right, well done, Matthew. Completely sent me into a spiral.
Fantastic. That if there was a sport that I could succeed at, it's sending people into spirals.
Jesus Christ! No, I think that's it. I don't know.
Okay.
As a afterthought, invariably you get a free T-shirt.
That is, I did like I saw the customised T-shirts lined up on Friday, and it looked very impressive.
That's right.
Are you thinking spandex next year?
Oh, holy shit. Alex keeps harping on about it.
I'm not surprised with Alex, frankly.
Alex, he was on the bus on the way back with all the athletes, and you've got an incredibly wide range of ages there. And he took it upon himself to make everyone play drinking games with him. He got everyone absolutely smashed.
Wow. Blimey. It sounds like a very good day.
Yeah.
What gave you the impetus to do it in the first year? What gave you the idea?
Do you know who got me onto it was Angela, our old yoga and kettlebell instructor. She's very, very, very good. Angela Craig. But she was pretty hot on the concept too, and I think she had competed in the ladies individual before.
Well, her daughter
is it GB Rower?
Was maybe going to Rio. I don't think she did, but I think she might be going to Tokyo. I mean, not generally, the Olympics, not talking about holiday plans here, but she might be going to Tokyo, I think. There's big interaction. I didn't know it was Angela that did that.
And the event has really grown as well. They just did it a bit better this year. They announced all the teams before they came up the tunnel, had entrance music, a bit more theatre to it. Again, something you'd freaking love.
Can you choose your entrance music?
Oh, no, obviously. Or Alex would have come out to Eye of the Tiger.
Or the Rocky theme.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the taste for it in the first year, and then you sort of decided to do it properly.
And it's inclusive, isn't it, as well? Because give me 10 minutes with anyone, I will... We're injury willing or limb willing, I'll be able to teach them to row to a decent standard in about 15 minutes. So it's just there's no barrier to participation. It's rowing pretty low impact. Right, row 200 meters as hard as you can. Take a full 90 seconds off. Row another 200 meters as hard as you can. Do that 5 times. That's all it is for the relay. So 5 lots of 200, and for those 200, I'm only rowing for about 31 seconds. 32 seconds. Well,
thanks for listening. We'll be back next week to talk about other stuff. We might have other people in the studio. We just don't know yet. Not Hayden. He's still in New Zealand. But we will see you next time. So goodbye from me. Goodbye from David.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.